We are less than an hour away from the start of the hearing held by the January 6th committee.
This afternoon, the panel will zero in on the role extremist groups played in the attack on the U.S. Capitol. To talk more about today's hearing, we are joined now by CBS News Congressional Correspondent Scott MacFarlane and CBS News Chief Election and Campaign Correspondent Robert Costa. Welcome to you both. Scott, let me begin with you. CBS News has learned the committee will hear from a rioter and the former spokesperson for a self-appointed militia. Why is their testimony so significant, and what does the committee hope to learn from them?
Well, let's talk first about the January 6th defendant, Elaine and Tanya. His name is Stephen Ayers. He's from Warren, Ohio, near Youngstown. According to the charging documents in his case and his signed plea agreement, Stephen Ayers says the December 19th, 2020 tweet from former President Trump about "be there, will be wild" on January 6th was galvanizing for him, that he posted about it on social media trying to raise attention and get ready for his trip. That tweet is going to be a focal point for this committee today. They're going to argue that former President Trump's tweet not only galvanized the rank and file defendants like Stephen Ayers, but mobilized the far-right groups who are accused of conspiracy and plotting, raising money, raising arms ahead of January 6th. What's more, according to the timetable CBS News has reviewed in charging documents, it was the same day, December 19th, 2020, the Proud Boys announced plans for a January 6th rally. It was 3 to 4 days later, the Oath Keepers revealed to each other plans for January 6th, including bringing thousands of people here. What the committee's going to say is that the tweet from former President Trump was a mobilizing force, and the defendant, Stephen Ayers, who will testify today, lends voice and face to that accusation.
Yeah, so interesting. Those 5 words, "be there, will be wild," are certainly going to be the center of attention. But Scott, who else are we expecting to hear from today? There are others that were supposed to be under wraps, correct?
Yeah, well, Pat Cipollone is going to be heard today. He had that 8-hour closed-door deposition on Friday that the committee had been pining for weeks, if not months. They finally got Cipollone to sit down under oath on Friday, and excerpts of that interview, of that deposition, will be played today, according to a committee member speaking with CBS News. We expect to hear other clips of other pre-taped depositions with any number of the other 1,000-plus witnesses this committee has sat down with. If passed as any prologue, the committee will synthesize that into their presentation. But the witnesses, the live witnesses, aren't there for an open, Socratic, unscripted back and forth. The previous hearings have shown we expect the committee to know where those witnesses are going to go with their responses, and there may even be clips of those witnesses' pre-taped depositions just to fact-check if they deviate from where the committee thinks they're headed.
And Robert, let's turn to you for a second, because this is the 7th hearing we have seen so far. What's the general response on Capitol Hill about how the committee is making its case to the public?
Good to be with you. On Monday, I was at the Capitol talking to different lawmakers on both sides of the Capitol, in the House and Senate. And it is evident that they are watching these proceedings carefully. They know that these hearings come just months before this year's midterm elections. And as Vice President Harris told me in an interview a few days ago, she believes, along with many Democrats, that, quote, democracy is the key issue of this election, that's on the ballot this year. And when she referred to democracy, she was talking about voting rights. She was talking about abortion rights in her view. But she was also referencing the broader story of democracy that's part of these January 6 committee hearings. Republicans, on the other hand, are not watching these hearings with the same intensity. It is clear that they are still monitoring them and wondering how all of this affects former President Trump's political capital, his standing within the Republican Party as he moves toward a possible 2024 presidential campaign.
Robert, we know there is such a partisan divide when it comes to understanding the events of January 6th. How did the notion of conspiracy theories gain traction inside the White House during that period in the run-up to January 6th?
That's an important point that we will pay close attention to in our coverage of today's hearing. That period in November and December of 2020, weeks after the election, then President Trump turned to outside lawyers such as Rudy Giuliani, and in particular an outside lawyer named Sidney Powell, who pushed conspiracy theories that he embraced ultimately and celebrated these with his supporters on social media and in public remarks. Sidney Powell was notable for pushing this idea, a false claim, that voting machines were rigged by foreign actors, and this led President Trump in December of 2020 to consider naming Sidney Powell a so-called special counsel, either inside the White House or at the Justice Department. And this was an important moment because, as Scott expertly detailed, this December 19th tweet set off so many activists and extremist groups on the outside. But the night before that tweet was sent, December 18th, 2020, Sidney Powell, former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, Rudy Giuliani, all of them in the Oval Office talking about voting machines, talking about taking dramatic action. So that mid-December period, so critical to understanding this story across the spectrum.
All right, Scott MacFarlane and Robert Costa, thanks to both of you. We will, of course, be bringing you live coverage of today's January 6th committee hearing in a CBS News special report, and that begins at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.